I'm Noah Rick standing with Coach Marvin Rashad of the boys basketball team here at Orange. So, Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to have you here.
All right,
Just getting ready for a big one tomorrow.
Yeah, big one tonight. Tomorrow
Yeah.
against Warrensville Heights. So,
Yes, sir.
how are you going to prepare for those guys? Because those guys are very tough, especially in this Cleveland area.
Oh, man, Warrensville is extremely tough. Second-year coach over there, Coach Michi Johnson, one of my longtime friends, like a family member to me. He got those guys playing really well. I went and watched them against St. Ignatius, who won states last year, and they fought Ignatius from start to finish. Ignatius kind of controlled the game the whole way, but if you walked in that gym and you didn't know who was winning, by the scoreboard, you wouldn't know, because that's how hard Warrensville was playing in spite of whatever that scoreboard said. And that's the motto. That's what I'm telling my kids. That's just what it got to be. You got to fight from start to finish no matter what's going on.
All right, so you are now in your second season at the helm of the Orange Boys. So how confident are you in your group as the season has now officially gotten underway?
So, nothing's set in stone in December, early December. It's the second game of the season. We played kind of what I think we were supposed to beat them. So, we can't pat ourselves on the back, too much from that. But tomorrow we will be tested. So I know I got guys that are up for the challenge, because they're playing hard. We're playing a different style. We're playing more guys. The ball's moving a lot more because we don't have, dominant scorers like I had last year. So, a lot of guys are getting an opportunity to contribute. So it's just showing it's actually going to show me who's ready to play with the big boys and who we can count on long term by who shows up tomorrow.
And your two best scorers from a year ago, they did graduate, Ernie Pryor and Dominic Inekwe. But you have promising players in Major Calhoun, Jameer Smith, but most importantly, Lutheran East transfer, Alex McCullough.
Yes,
so
sir.
what have you seen from those players throughout the course of the offseason?
So Jameer has took leaps and bounds from where he was last year. I think he grew a little more. He's getting to the rim well. He's shooting the ball well. I just need him to be more active and use his long arms, his length to, impose his frame and his size on people more than he does. So we're looking forward to him to have a good game tomorrow. Major's been steady. He got hurt this offseason, so he couldn't really, train as much as he wanted to. But he's a solid guy. If he's playing well, we can be really good. So, we're gonna need him to turn it up as well. But Alex is just a shot in the arm, man. He is next world athletic. He's confident. He's unselfish. He's tenacious on defense. He's like a coach's dream, and he's like a kid in the candy store, because this is new for him, being the main guy, coming over from Lutheran East. So now it's just, can he step up to the challenge consistently and try to lead this team to places that we're trying to go.
And now, your first season last year, you guys didn't end up winning 9 games, but how will the team look to improve in the win column this year?
Anytime, and I'll say this, and I know it's kind of cliche, but what you do in the regular season doesn't measure the success of your season. So let's just say we win 9 games again and we make it to districts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We have a better season. Let's say we win 8 games and we make it to districts. We had a better year, right? So do I want to win more games on the paper? Absolutely. But the most important thing for me is trying to get to a neutral site come playoff time. If we can play our way to a district Final Four somehow, some way, that's success, because Orange hasn't been in that position in a long time from the men's basketball team. So that's my goal. Do I want to win 10 games or 11 games? For sure. But if winning 10 or 11 games is going to give me a first or second round playoff loss, I don't want them. I'll take 5, 6, 7 wins and a chance to go to a district over 8, 9, 10, 11 wins any day of the week.
And I did hear stories about high school teams in the past winning 6 games and actually winning their district. So it's just
anything's possible.
March Madness.
No, and that's what you want to be playing your best basketball come February towards the end of March. You want to be able to win, find a way to win in spite of whatever you've been through the course of the year.
Now, you guys went 3-5 in your conference last year, but it has been a tough conference as of late, especially with teams like Hawken and West Geauga in the mix.
Yes.
But what is your main outlook in terms of competing with those guys in hopes of getting a conference crown?
Well, Hawken is really good. They got some really good kids over there. West Geauga probably has the best player in the league. on paper returning. You can't forget about Painesville Harvey, who is now in our tier of the CVC. You can't forget about Perry, who's now in the CVC tier, in our tier. So our league got tougher with those two. Beechwood left our tier of the CVC, but we inherited Perry and Painesville Harvey, who are really two tough teams. So I think the CVC, Chagrin Vision and the CVC, is one of the toughest leagues around, and people just don't know it. But they always find out come playoff time because the CVC representatives show up for districts, and we had two guys in the top 10 last year for seeding. It was West G and Hawkins. So it's like CVC is tough, and we want to come out and just fight and try to maintain our standings. First, second, third, because it's so tough. I'm okay with, right? But yeah, the CVC is tough, man. So we're just gonna try to fight every time out.
But your non-conference schedule also tough. We did talk about Warrensville Heights in the mix, but what is like your look on the non-conference schedule that will prepare you for both conference and tournament play?
So I've chosen. I'm from the east side of Cleveland, so I grew up St. Clair, East Cleveland area. So it's like I'm going to play those teams. I'm going to take my guys. They're going to get a feel for that. So we got Euclid on the schedule. We got Glenville on the schedule. Obviously, we got Warrensville on the schedule. So it's like we're going to play those teams that are battle-tested, that have, on paper, better programs and better players, because we have to be battle-tested if we're going to call ourselves advancing in the playoffs. You can't hide in March. Wherever you end up on, you got to be ready to go play. So I feel like putting my team in front of these different situations early can prepare us for the playoffs. So that's why our non-conference schedule kind of looks like that.
Now, I saw last year you were in a district that featured schools mostly from the Youngstown area.
Yeah.
You did take a 60-mile trip down to Hubbard.
Yeah.
You also had to go 45 miles to Northwest in the sectional final.
Never doing it again.
So how will you use your regular season schedule to prepare for those out-of-area teams in the tournament?
So guess what? What I'm not going to do is pick a line that's going to take me far away from home. That's another reason why I'm playing close, because depending on where our district's in and who hosts, we stand on this side. And we just got to go be ready to go play somebody that that's on paper that looks like they're going to beat us. I had a rough time going that far away, and I just felt like, looking back, I would have rather played teams in our area that we're familiar with a different, the referees would be familiar with everybody. So it would just be different. So to answer your question, that's why, because we're staying on this side. We're staying as close to home with the line that I pick as possible, and we just going to live with the results.
Okay, now let's talk about your career and the life journey that kind of led you here to the Pepper Pike community.
Okay. Well, like I said, I grew up on the east side of Cleveland. I'm a Collinwood graduate. I played there 3 years. I played 1 year at Van Angelo St. Joe's my freshman year. I transitioned my high school career into a junior college opportunity right in the heart of Cleveland, downtown at Tri-C, Cuyahoga Community College. I went there. I was a pretty good player, scored 1,000 points, set a couple records, and I transitioned that to another opportunity in West Virginia, Fairmont State University. I played there for 2 years. I scored another 1,000 points there and made the record books, and I went overseas to play for 4 years after that. So basketball has always been my life dream, and coaching has always been my life dream. So I played as long as I could play, and then as soon as I got done playing, I got into coaching. And I started coaching high school ball in 2010 when I retired, and I got to high school ranks in 2014 at Cleveland Central Catholic, and I was there for 5 years. And then I came to Shaw in 2020, 21 COVID year, and I was at Shaw for 3 years. And then after my third year at Shaw, I landed at Pepper Pike. We actually played Orange in the sectional championship when I was the coaching at Shaw, and we won to go to district. So I had been to districts twice, 2 years in a row at Shaw before I came to Orange. But I beat Orange to go to district. So that's how we kind of connected.
Okay, Coach, we have some fun trivia questions
Okay.
here. So what is your favorite basketball team?
Oh, man, I'm a Cleveland Cavalier, man. I love my hometown guy. I love all my hometown teams, so for sure.
Especially with the likes of LeBron and now the 18-3 Cavaliers.
Yes,
It was
sir.
a very dramatic finish last night against the Celtics.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see the game, but I was just glad we was able to pull it out and keep this winning streak going, and hopefully this setting us up for what could potentially be a long playoff run for the Cavs.
Now, who is your favorite athlete?
Probably Bron. That's. I was. So you want me to say current or former or whatever?
Just anything.
Anything. So I'll take it. I mean, Michael Jordan is always at the top, but Bron has made a case to be sitting at the same table with him. No matter what era you grew up in or how old you are, you can't take away what you've seen, the consistency you've seen from him. So all-time favorite, Michael Jordan, and then Bron is sitting literally right there with him.
Now, who is your favorite coach in the game?
Ooh, favorite coach. Who is my favorite coach? That's a good question. I like Joe Mazzulla because he coached at my college. He coached at Fairmont State. He went from Fairmont State to the NBA. So it was like, what? How did that happen, right? And I think his attention to detail and how he coaches his kids, those professionals, it started at a place that I'm familiar with, where I'm from. So I like Joe because he was a Fairmont State Falcon at one point in time. It's
a very small world.
Yeah, it is.
And what's your favorite big city to visit? You said you are from Cleveland, but anywhere like outside of Cleveland, what would you visit?
So I want to go to California. I haven't been. I want to go to Hawaii. Hawaii and California are at the top of my list for places to go that I haven't been. Yeah.
All right, now last trivia question: who's your favorite role model that you look up to?
I would probably say my mother. She's one of the most caring, nicest people that you could ever meet. She's disciplined. She's just everything, man. I just love my mom, man. She's my role model. I try to have discipline and bring light to people's life. Like that's how she was. So my mom.
Okay, now basketball. We were talking about it a little bit. It's a game that brings people together from all walks of life. Mm-hmm. So what's the number one thing that drew you to basketball?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Jordan, man. I ain't going to lie. Being an 80s baby, you grow up watching Michael Jackson dance and sing and then watching Michael Jordan play basketball. So I fell in love with watching Michael Jackson dance and sing, and then I fell in love with watching Michael Jordan play ball. And watching him play ball made me want to go play. So Michael Jordan was my number one influence that drew me to the game.
In the 90s, definitely a great era of NBA basketball. Both 6-time NBA champions. Now, it is always important to look at the development of the youth here in the Orange School District, going from elementary all the way up to JV. So what is your main focus in helping those guys get ready for the highly demanding varsity level?
Bringing them in. When I got this job, one of the most important things to me was keeping the talent that comes through Orange at Orange. You'd be shocked by how many players are at different schools, playing in different places that live right here in Orange because for whatever reason they don't want to play for their high school. Like I want to make coming to Orange cool, playing at Orange cool, and that's why we're going to play the teams we're going to play. That's why we're going to play the style of play we're going to play, and that's what I'm going to show the young guys coming out of Brady. That, hey, man, whatever you're looking for is right here in this gym, baby. Just come on in, join the party. It's a big party. We having fun. We competing. We getting coached up. We developing. And, we going to turn this thing around and have, Orange basketball being respected. That's my selling point.
Okay, now, Coach, last question. We give you the opportunity here at YSN to give a few shout-outs to friends, family that you want to give a huge thanks to.
Oh, wow. So first off, shout out to my wife, Deanna Rashad. Being a coach's wife is tough. Because it's never off. Even if you got a coach that's cared and locked in, he's in the gym all year round with his kids, trying to train them and get them better. So that means you losing time from your home life. So I know she suffers a little bit because I be going all the time with practicing games and scouting and stuff, especially when the season comes. But she takes it all in stride. She don't let me hear about it much. She empowers me, man. She's proud of me. She's like my #1 fan, even though she be like, I miss you. I want you to be at home. So the fact that she's just a trooper with, my demanding schedule when basketball season starts, man, I got to give her a shout out. But shout out to my wife. Shout out to my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, brothers, everybody that love me, man. If you're watching this, shout out to them. My son DJ's in Chicago. But just shout out to everybody that rocks with Coach Marv, for sure.
And this is Noah Ricks with Coach Marvin Rashad, and the Orange Boys are back in action on December 3rd at Warrensville Heights. So go on out to Warrensville Heights to watch the action.
Awesome.